Hey, welcome back to Right on the Edge. My name is Derek, and I was thinking, let's learn a little bit about dark theories about the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. They'll ruin your childhood. And jokes on them. My childhood was ruined well before they ever tried. But let's watch it. Also, this was a little bit before my time. But I'm interested to see what the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon looked like.
Who was that?
That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon
Wow, that was just as terrible good as I thought it would be.
was supposed to be just another Saturday morning fantasy ride, but what if I told you it was actually a twisted psychological horror wrapped in bright colors and toy commercials?
Okay, I mean, I'm interested. Tell me about it.
From theories of purgatory to satanic guides, this show is a whole lot darker than any
It's kind of cool they use like the old dungeon guide book cover idea for their show cover as well.
one realized. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. Let me know in the comments which dark theory surprised you the most. Check out the description for the link to grab the complete series on DVD. Trust me, you'll definitely want to rewatch it now as an adult after watching this. And hey, leave a super thanks.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of old shows I've been meaning to watch and give their due dedication. However, I will say this. This one's probably low on the list because it looks as cheesy as I think it will be, but there's a lot of good anime that I've been meaning to get to. You know, like one from my video about how 90s anime are trying to warn us about something. There's one of the animes they use, and they use three of them. Three main ones anyway. I'd never heard of, was about people killing themselves in order to join like the internet with all their soul. And I was like, well, that's a dark premise, and I bet you it's
Grew
pretty
up
good.
watching this and need therapy now. You're not
Yeah.
alone. Before we dive into the mind-bending theories, let's do a deeper refresher, especially for those who never saw
Okay,
this
that's pretty
show
funny.
but are about to have their minds blown.
You dare summon me, Decion?
Yes, Master. After all these centuries, I have found the circle of power.
Dungeons and
Wow, this cover art's really good.
Dragons aired from 1983 to 1985 and followed 6 kids from our world who hop on
Wow, 2 years. That's a good run for like a children's show.
a mysterious
Based on a
roller
game.
coaster at a theme park and are suddenly yanked into a dangerous magical realm. Hank,
that's
Eric,
cool.
Sheila, Presto, Diana, and Bobby were instantly separated from everything they know and given enchanted weapons by a robed cryptic guide named the Dungeon Master. Wait, it gets even crazier. From there, the show follows their journey as they fight monsters, help villagers, survive cursed lands, and attempt to find a portal back to Earth.
It's everything you want a D&D thing to be.
Every single episode. Each kid embodied a Dungeons and Dragons character class. Hank became the group's leader and a ranger with an energy-powered magical bow. He's brave, strategic, and always puts the team first, sometimes to his own disadvantage. Eric, the
job.
Cavalier, gets a powerful shield but is a loudmouth, often scared and always complaining. He's the skeptic and comic relief, but sometimes he's the only one who says what everyone's thinking. Sheila, Bobby's older sister, becomes a thief with a cloak that makes her invisible. She's
Ooh.
quiet, empathetic, and often the emotional glue holding the team together.
Where's my brother? Take it
You know, I have to say, that's pretty cool that they made the thief class play that role.
easy, Sheila. But what if treason isn't the only thing
That
he's
breaks-
guilty of?
breaks the
What if
meta.
he's guilty of... Oh, Bobby!
Presto takes on the role of wizard, though his spells rarely work the way he wants. His bumbling magic
Honestly, that's my experience playing a wizard too. So you're not alone there.
often leads to disaster, but he's also the group's heart and brain. Diana, the acrobat, is the group's warrior athlete, using her staff and agility to take down enemies. She's confident, capable, and often saves the boys from themselves.
Yeah.
Bobby, the youngest and most impulsive, becomes a barbarian with a club that
Even as an adult, that's probably me. Hit stuff with stick.
causes earthquakes. He's brave to a fault, reckless, and constantly rushing into danger.
I say we stop running and fight.
Together, they navigate a world filled with sorcery, nightmares, and betrayal. But unlike other 80s cartoons, like He-Man or G.I. Joe, this show didn't reset at the end of each episode. If someone got injured or a mission failed, that weight carried into the next week. The characters grew through trauma, the threats were real, the scars were permanent, and most haunting of all, they never made it back home. No wonder the theories are darker than a black hole. And let's not forget, this was right in the middle of the Satanic Panic era, when parents were burning D&D books and banning anything that smelled like magic. So the fact that this show even made it to air is shocking on its own. Okay, let's get into it, starting with number 10. What if the adventure never happened? Because the kids actually died before it even began. This isn't just a fan theory. It's one of the darkest and most popular ideas tied to the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, and once you hear it, you can't unsee it. The theory goes...
It kind of reminds me of a different show I watched where the theory was that is people with unrealized dreams or goals go to a sort of purgatory, but it's not like purgatory, but so they can have like a life, a regular life, and succeed in some of their dreams. And this one was tailored to specifically like younger people.
Goes like this. The kids never survived the roller coaster ride at the beginning of the series. Whether it derailed, malfunctioned, or plunged into some kind of catastrophic failure, that moment we see them screaming and disappearing isn't a magical portal, it's their death. The realm they land in afterward, that's not another dimension, it's purgatory. A cycle.
Do you think purgatory might be another dimension? Like, real question, really,
Psychological
'Cause I think
limbo
so.
where their souls are stuck in an endless cycle of tests, battles, and unresolved trauma until they can finally find peace. Look at the evidence.
Hey, suits me fine, kiddo. Why don't you just run along and try facing the realm on your own? I've been doing just that
Maybe I
all my
will.
life, Eric, until I got this weapon. It's mine and I'm keeping it.
From episode 1, they're dropped into a world of chaos with no rules, no roadmap, and no return ticket. They're immediately attacked, handed magical weapons, and tasked with impossible missions by a mysterious little man who appears and vanishes at will, the Dungeon Master.
What kind of gets me to support this theory is the fact that if he is the Dungeon Master, that means he's even made the villain. So this is kind of like God.
There are no adults, no other humans from Earth, just them, and an ever-shifting dreamscape that feels like it was designed specifically for them, as if this world only exists to confront their deepest fears and
Jeez.
insecurities. Each episode plays like a morality test. Will Hank stay calm under pressure? Will Eric finally put the team before himself? Will Presto stop relying on shortcuts and grow into real power? The quests feel less like external missions and more like spiritual exams, each one tailored to force inner growth. And the goal of the journey? It's never clearly defined. Sure, they say they want to go home, but home is always just out of reach. Portals close just as they arrive, spells backfire, Dungeon Master gives them a glimmer of hope and then yanks it away. This constant cycle of hope and despair is exactly what many spiritual
life,
traditions
man.
describe describe as purgatory, a realm where souls must be purified through suffering before they can ascend. And think about the terrifying 5-headed dragon who shows up over and over again. She doesn't just try to kill them, she exists as a symbol, a multi-faced embodiment of death itself.
I have no master.
That's pretty terrifying.
She appears randomly, unpredictably, and is never defeated. Why? Because she's not just a monster. She's death made literal. The constant looming reminder that they're not alive anymore. Not really. Even the visual design of the realm supports this theory. The landscapes are often barren, foggy, surreal. Forests that lead nowhere, mountains that shift, endless deserts. It's not just fantasy, it's a dream world built on emotional symbolism. And then there's the way time works in the show. Or doesn't. The kids never age. There's no mention of seasons, no holidays, no birthdays. It's as if time froze the second they boarded that roller coaster. Their bodies may be gone, but their minds are trapped, replaying variations of the same struggle until they get it right. The fact that they never make it home in the series only adds fuel to this theory. There's no resolution, no waking up, no parents, no rescue, just endless
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Like, I've never seen the show before, but I hate it when these theories make so much sense. I wonder what else
wandering
what other
and
theories there is.
lessons. And maybe that was the point all along. Maybe the show wasn't about 6 kids trying to escape
Dang, he got rained on.
danger. Maybe it was about 6 souls trying to earn peace. Maybe
trying to cope
every
with their
monster they face is a metaphor. Every battle is internal. Every near miss with a portal home is a reminder that they're not finished yet.
I'm sorry we ever doubted you.
Yeah, way to go, Eric.
You see? You see?
In a world where swords and sorcery are everywhere, where pain is constant, and where no one seems to truly die or live, it's
That's
not hard to imagine that they're already gone. And we, as the audience, are simply watching them work through the afterlife. Now go rewatch the show and try not to see it this way. It seriously hits different now, and it hits deep. But if the realm is purgatory, then who's running the show? And what if the person they trust most is actually the biggest threat? He was supposed to be their guide, but what if Dungeon Master was actually the enemy? Yup, that's number 9 on our list. He pops in without warning, gives half-baked riddles, and vanishes before explaining anything important. Dungeon Master always claims to help, but more often than not, he's the one setting the kids up for danger.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. He calls Venger his son.
You must realize that everything touches everything else. Every action has its own consequence. There is a universal balance.
If Venger represents chaos and evil,
Well, he didn't say he was his son in that one, but
what does that say about Dungeon Master's parenting or identity? Some fans believe Dungeon Master is the devil, tempting the kids with quests and false hope. Instead of guiding them out, he's manipulating them
what if he's just guiding them to be able to accept the fact that they died?
to stay. His cryptic messages could be traps, designed to keep them bound to the realm forever. Also, notice how Dungeon Master never gives them clear directions home? It's always a lesson or trial. If he's so powerful, why not just send them back? Maybe because he doesn't want to. And it gets even darker. Because what if the villain isn't who you think? And the true evil is a failed hero. Coming in at number 8, this one makes you really think. What if the show's villain was once its greatest hero?
For you know me as Venger.
Oh, no.
In the unproduced final episode, Requiem,
I feel like that's like an understatement. I'd be like, oh, fuck. Even as a teenager, I'd be like, shit. Damn.
It's revealed that Venger is Dungeon Master's corrupted son. But what if he wasn't always evil? Some fans theorize that Venger was the previous Ranger, the chosen one like Hank, who failed and fell into darkness. Now, the kids are being groomed to replace him, or worse, become him. That's why Venger fights them so hard. He knows the cycle. He knows how the realm twists people, and he's trying to break it by stopping them before they fall like he did. It flips the whole story on its head. What if Venger is the only one trying to save them? But while we're questioning villains, what if the tiniest, cutest character in the whole show was secretly working for the enemy? Number 7, Uni the Unicorn is a spy. The show's cutest character might have had the darkest role. Uni, the baby unicorn, is Bobby's companion, but watch closely and you'll see something strange.
Weekend, I can't look after you if you don't stay still.
Uni always seems to show up when plans go wrong. He gets the group in trouble.
He was also kind of torturing that small animal, it looked like.
Distracts them at crucial moments and never seems to age or change. The theory? Uni is a spy,
Damn, was he just missing a leg right there?
planted by Dungeon Master or Venger to monitor the kids. A magical familiar in disguise there to track their progress, test their loyalty, and make sure they never leave. The most unsettling detail? In one episode, Uni speaks, but only briefly, and only when it helps push the plot forward. That's not just strange, it's suspicious. Still think this is just coincidence? Then check this out, the kids may have been chosen based on their darkest traits, and the realm might be punishing them on purpose. Our number 6 dark theory is that each character represents a deadly sin. What if
I mean, that's completely possible. A lot of shows use that trope as a trope. Like, you know, they use metaphor and symbolism in order to make the world richer and more grounded, so we relate more to it.
the kids aren't random at all, but chosen based on their flaws? There are 7 deadly sins. Remove lust, and you're left with 6, just like the number of main characters. Okay, hear me out. Eric the Cavalier. Pride. He's arrogant, dismissive, and constantly needs to be right. Hank the Ranger. Wrath. His rage toward Venger boils over in multiple episodes. Presto the Magician. Sloth. He always looks for the easy magical fix instead of learning real control.
Powers that come and go in the night. Banish these snail things from my sight. Hey! Get this thing off of me!
Well, I guess that worked, sort of. Should have been more specific.
Diana the Acrobat. Envy. She pushes herself to compete and prove her worth. Sheila the Thief. Gluttony. Not food, but emotional safety and being invisible. Bobby the Barbarian. Greed. Always hungry for power, battle, and strength. This theory suggests they're in a realm custom-made to punish or purify them, like a twisted morality test disguised as fantasy. And who administers that test? That's right, Dungeon Master, again. So if they're being judged,
I feel like this is the least likely theory of them all.
what happens if there's no way out? What if this whole world is a trap with no exit at all?
What if?
The number 5 dark theory is that the realm is a loop that nobody escapes. You ever notice how they keep almost escaping but never quite make it? Over and over again, the kids get this close to going home, and then poof, the portal vanishes. The spell misfires. Someone chickens out. It's not just bad luck. Some fans believe the realm is a closed loop, like an
So they think it's like the ultimate red herring, where the closer you get to escape, or it'll let you get close enough just to have hope and then take it away from you. Yeah, you know, as you get, you know, I can see that. I can see that.
endless purgatory cycle designed to trap new victims in forever. These 6 are just the latest in repetition. There may have been dozens, even hundreds of groups before them.
So do they keep just having groups in here to keep this place alive, or are they replaced when these kids die, or just give up or move on?
In fact, There are hints in some episodes of ancient relics, skeletons, or failed adventurers who tried before them. Maybe they're all just echoes of previous groups who almost made it out.
The boy has much power, Master. Yes, but he has little experience. His power will do him no good.
That's way too creepy. The realm doesn't want you to leave, it wants you to stay and forget. And just when you think they might finally escape, the show pulled the plug on the finale. But not because they ran out of ideas, but because the truth may have been too disturbing. Number 4 on our list is that Requiem was shelved because it was too dark. They wrote the ending, but chose not to show it. Why? The final
I wonder if they pre-produced it, if there's like a storyboard or something for the Requiem, because I'd be interested into seeing if like how dark could it possibly be that they didn't air it in the 80s. You know, there's a lot of stuff that was pretty dark cartoon wise back then.
final episode, Requiem, was fully scripted, but never animated. Fans say it was due to cancellation, but others believe it was intentionally buried. In that episode, the kids are finally given the choice to go home, or stay and defend the realm. They don't go home. Even after defeating Venger and learning he's Dungeon Master's son, they choose to stay. That's not a satisfying ending. It's soul-crushing. Why wouldn't that air? Some believe producers thought it was too factual, too much like abandoning hope. Others think the network didn't want to show kids giving up their dreams, but that's exactly what they did. And speaking of disturbing, one theory says that one of the kids never existed at all. And the reason why will seriously mess you up. Bobby never existed. Sounds pretty wild, but that is theory number 3.
Wild.
What if one of the kids was never real to begin with? This one's wild. Some fans believe Bobby the Barbarian is a figment of Sheila's imagination, her need to protect him, her fear of losing him, her identity as the big sister.
Bobby! Bobby, are you okay? Sis! I knew you'd come!
It all revolves around Bobby. No other characters connect with him as
Well, I'll end it right there. Were any of these theories ones that you guys had heard of before? If so, like, leave a comment below and let me know, like, which ones you'd heard of, which ones you hadn't heard of. If you've watched this show, and should I watch this show? Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And, hey, hope you guys have a great day.